I didn't do anything there, so that's all that credit belongs with Google.
Okay, all right. Well, that's cool. I'm glad to see it.
I wasn't even there. I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. Oh, I see Chris. You're the only one there, man.
Oh, I didn't start my video. Hold on. Hi. There. My video's on.
I'm not turning mine on. You guys can't make me do that.
I mean, we can, but
Man, I should have dressed up for this. Am I in the dark? Holy crap, I'm in the dark. Hold on. I didn't even realize I was in the dark. Can you guys hear me?
oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I can hear you. I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Yeah, you don't want to see me. Come on. So, welcome to the shit show.
Hang on, hold that welcome until we start. We're running late.
We're
running.
Isn't this the catch up part of the thing? If we're doing the
No, we need us to start. That's the deal. We start and we do it on the catch up.
All right.
I'm gonna hold us to this because
we are live.
Okay,
so
cool.
You tell me what we do now. What do we do? We've gone live. I did my part. Where do we go?
Where are we?
We're live.
What are we doing? We're live.
Woohoo, we are. We're live.
We're there. Yeah.
Hang on. I'm going to mute us because I know there's unmuted. Splendid. All right. I'm going to shut up. No, I want to hold us to this. I want to hold us to actually starting on time and doing this stuff.
Happy birthday, Josh.
Yeah, Josh. Happy birthday.
Did I miss something?
Yeah, it's your turn. You say happy birthday, Josh.
Well, where the hell is? Oh, there we go. Oh, the human name. Oh my gosh! Happy birthday, Josh. I'm not going to sing happy birthday. We'll break the internet. So Josh is going to be helping out with some fun things, and I think we can get Rachel to bring him along, which is going to be freaking awesome. And we're going to do a monthly Dungeons and Dragons thing. So I'm so fucking looking forward to that.
That'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Ryan, you got a haircut.
I did. I got them all cut, not just one. I asked for just one.
I don't know about all of them. Did you? Are you sure they were all?
The head ones.
Did you measure them all before?
The base one, I'm doing the thing. I'm trying something out. I don't know if I like it yet. I'll probably get rid of it, but
that's awesome.
Yeah, no.
You can tell I was wearing a mask. I got the.
Oh, you got
and drops in, yeah. It's mask beard, isn't it? At that point in time, it just kind of cuts it all the way back here. I was actually going to. Oh, I told you about that when you were talking about diving stuff earlier. That's probably the next time I'm going to end up trimming my mustache. Will be when we go out to New Hampshire to put on a face mask. Otherwise, yeah, it's kind of useless. Or you can wax the beard up a lot. That actually helps a little bit too.
When are we going to New Hampshire?
I think it's the week after your, fireworks celebration of chucking tea in the pot and all that good stuff. Out there for like July? 2 weeks. I'm out there for 2 weeks. Yeah, like last 2 weeks of July, I'll be out there diving and just hanging out with everybody. You're welcome to come out.
Nice. I'll have to put that on the calendar and we'll check in closer to the date, but I'll put a placeholder out there.
Yeah, it's actually nice. It's Lake Winnipesaukee, which is just a gorgeous neck of the woods. It's spring-fed lake, so you'll definitely need coverings. Let's put it that way. But we'll be out there. I'm not sure what the plan is as to whether we're going to fly out, drive out with the dogs, or fly out. To be determined. Lots of things to be determined. But we're going to get out there, hang out for a couple of weeks, and just relax and also do some work from there. But just get the hell away from the water for a little bit. We do the shit show on the end of the dock. That would actually be fun. We could do the shit show on the end of the dock. I like that idea.
That would be.
I should have like 20 dives in by then.
Nice. 20 dives, and you'll be smoke free.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
I'll tell you what, I'll do you a deal.
Is this
If
making
you-
the deal with the devil?
No, I'll do you a deal. I'll do you a deal. I will, even if you continue to smoke, you won't be officially allowed to do the tech training stuff. I will train you. I will take you out and I will run you through all the tech training. I will never ever say anything about the smoking, but I know if you want to go official route, you can't do it. But if you stay as you are, which is who you are, and I have no fucking problem with that, I will still train you and I will impart all of that info that I have to you.
That's
Well,
cool.
aren't you
All right.
sweet? I like the idea of, so if you won't give him shit about it during the training, I will. Because I'm going to be around for a couple more years, and as a former smoker myself, I can pick on those who smoke. Apparently that's allowed. That's a thing. Like once you're a smoker and you quit, you automatically are allowed to be a giant douche nozzle to everyone who still smokes. It's in the pamphlet. You should read it.
I tried a couple of times
Finding any of this
in
shit.
the air training corps and in the military, and it was terrible. I felt dizzy, weird, sick, and everything, and that was it. I probably in my entire life smoked less than half a dozen.
I loved smoking. I miss
Yeah.
smoking, but it's just it doesn't agree with life and
Mhm.
longevity and health.
Well, okay, the longevity.
All
Okay,
those
so,
silly
yeah,
things.
let me play devil's advocate on the longevity thing. I would argue that there are some people that, from a longevity standpoint, it doesn't bloody affect us as much. I mean, how many of us have had family members that have smoked in their 70s, 80s, and fucking 90s?
Absolutely. I had a great grandfather.
Hey. Last time I checked my longevity, it was plenty long. Thank you very much.
I had a great grandfather, smoked, pack a day and had a bourbon for breakfast and bacon and whatever, and lived to like 99. I get it.
Yeah.
But he also worked. He also worked. He got up every day and did like hard stuff that was physically taxing on his body.
So that's, I mean, you look at to that, to Evans, I'm never gonna. It's tough. You can only ever. My only thing is, and you guys know this from being around me physically, is just I'll step aside and I'll wander 50, 100 yards away, and because it's just, for me, it's the smell. It has nothing to do whether I'm secondhand air. I just don't give a shit about that. It's just purely the smell. I can't deal with it. Now cigars, I can deal with cigar smell. Pipes, I smoke a pipe. I've probably smoked Eddie Meisner and I smoked a pipe a couple of times together.
I like all of it. I don't have a problem with any of it except that it has a problem with me.
Yeah, no, it totally makes sense. Oh, Matt's fine. He said you can take everything away apart from the bacon. I'm like, kind of with him. If somebody said that you can't have bacon anymore, I'd have a problem with that. I think I would. That's one of the few things I have a problem with.
I had to cut
So,
back.
are you an oven bacon guy or a pan bacon guy?
Oven bacon? What the fuck is that? Nobody does that.
I'll say no.
Like
Oven bacon.
bacon?
No, oven bacon's good. Oven bacon's good. No, I put it on the grill. I do it on the outside grill.
Okay, you're a grill bacon guy. Okay, this one I haven't had the repertoire. I haven't done this.
But I will do it on the pan. I'll do it in the pan. Oven's okay. Gets a little too dry, a little too crispy, even if you do other things to it. But on the grill, just.
What kind of shit bacon are you getting? If you get the good thick cut stuff.
No,
you gotta eat, Chris. If your bacon isn't this thick, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, but that's not bacon. That's ham.
No, it's almost pork belly. It's close to pork belly.
Okay, there we go. So
you want to take like a standard pork belly and go like a quarter thickness of a standard pork belly. That be a proper piece of bacon.
All right, I can't. Yeah, that's fair. No, this is that's an interesting one. Air fry bacon.
I haven't done it. I've heard it.
I haven't. We have one of those crazy things, but it scares the crap out of Daisy, so I don't use it very often. I do like the air fryer idea. Speaking of air fryers, I end up picking up. So we've got the stills that we distill stuff for the tractors, obviously. Nothing else.
Of course. I mean, what else? You wouldn't be doing anything else with them.
Nothing at all. Absolutely nothing at all. So we picked up a couple of the I call them kettles. They're literally, it's a water distiller and it's like a 1 gallon thing. So picked up a couple of those, and we're going to start making different
Fuels.
octane levels for the fuel for the tractor. So that's on the go. That will start. I'm going to probably get that washed up and sorted out this evening to test the effectiveness. And also, when the tractor's running, we can actually have some interesting botanics in the tractor, so that we're being ecologically friendly as we do. I have some very, very good juniper, a juniper smelling tractor, and a few other things. So
no, some of that. Go for that zero emission thing. I get it. It's all about that carbon neutral footprint. Definitely want to do that. Evan, be advised, if you get hassled at the border, it is so Chris's fault. Just so you know, if you have any trouble the next week or two regarding travel or border crossings.
No, it's all botanics. Apparently there. I mean, I was actually going to see how many I can get before folks actually turn up. And then I'm going to have each one doing something different. Because you take taking the tops off of these is literally like a shot glass. You take the top off and you can recycle it and put it back in through with the tails. And then you get different botanics that come out as well, which are even better for the tractor.
This is what they say.
Yeah, it's actually going to be kind of fun. I'm looking forward to messing with this. So yeah, I've been reading up on having to do sugar washes and stuff because I'm used to, doing it with other things. But the sugar wash one's interesting. It's like 6 pounds of sugar, 2 gallons of water, a packet of Go Faster yeast, leave it for 5 days, chuck it in, and an hour and a half later, you've got some really good stuff to try in the tractor. I'm like, sweet, I look forward to that stuff.
I've gotten a text message from every friend I've ever had that's even thought about smoking pot to tell me how it cures COVID.
Oh my gosh, did you see that? I put the thing on LinkedIn. No.
Everybody that's even heard of pot was like, Ryan, did you see that?
It's awesome.
The wheat cures the COVID. And
no, I got a better idea. I got a business plan. I have Jesse and I were talking about this. I got a bit because he wants to basically put a field of it in. Fuck this whole he wants to basically go plow a field and drop it in. I'm like, we can do that now because we can seal up the house and we can hotbox the house, the entire house. So you need a couple of bales of this stuff and you can hotbox the fuck out of the house. And it basically becomes a COVID recuperation center.
I see. Okay. I see the business angle you're taking here. So
this is awesome.
COVID recuperation and wellness hut.
A wellness hut. I mean, to me, I can see no.
We're gonna get banned on YouTube.
Oh yeah, we can't talk about Rona. Sorry, YouTube. We're not talking about Rona. We're talking about something completely not related.
It's health and wellness. We're allowed to talk about health and wellness on YouTube. YouTube and health and wellness work well. So I like the business plan. So I'm going to do there's 2 versions of this business plan if we do it properly, and you can actually get the buildings about 40,000. You get a building and you put listen, this is good. Because people will come into the wellness plan not feeling well. So you put them on those, the ones in the airports, the little runway things that move on their own. So you bring them in and you put them on this little thing and you slowly trundle them through the hotbox. And by the time they get to the other end, it's a complete infusion system.
Your hoodie believes me to be that this is a setup. I'm putting it out there. Your hoodie makes me think that all this is just a setup and there is no free TV. And really you about to throw me in handcuffs because you got a warrant and you convinced me to pick up my free TV and I came to get it. I feel like
State of Colorado going to shut that down quick.
Yeah, somebody must have seen the post. I put a LinkedIn, Twitter post out. My poor Rugrat. Well, actually, it's Rugrat and Jen at the moment, and I'm. So she hasn't got it, but we don't know. So we won't even go into the school. So there's a teacher at her freaking school that's wearing one of these fucking mesh masks, which to me is worse than the chin diaper attitude. It's like put the fucking proper one on and be done with it. Because apparently, this is where I have a huge problem. The government says, hey, you should do this. Colorado says, hey, we recommend you do this. The Jeffco's got its own set of fucking rules that says, hey, we need you to, we would like you to do this. I'm like, you fuckers. All that aside, Mo got a notification from the school, hey, you've been in a class that had an infected body, loves, hugs, and kisses. Well, so that came in, 2 days ago. Yesterday, came in yesterday, whatever it was. She got that in. Jen gets one last night on the phone. I didn't realize Jen's got the notifications enabled. I'm like, I've turned that shit off. So Jen's got the notifications enabled. And so she got a text message, congratulations, you were close to somebody that was infected. So I got 2 people in this freaking household who are potentially, you know what I mean? So, and then Sweet, poor bloody Sweet, his dad's gone down with it. And so he found out, shot me a message a couple of days ago saying, hey, dad's down with it. I'm like, I love you dearly, but stay the fuck away from me, because he is not vaccinated, boosted, or anything. And I'm like, that's his choice. However, the rules apply differently now, which means instead of it being a 3 to 5 days, your ass is out of here for 10 days. End of conversation.
Is that a 50-cent piece, a bottle cap? What the hell is in Evan's eye right now? I don't even know what's happening.
Sorry, I didn't. My bad.
What are you doing? So yeah, the household is now divided into 3 layers. Morgan's got the top layer, and she now knows, bless her console, she like puts a mask on when she's coming down and all this stuff. So I'm feeling really bad, but she's feeling a little funky, but not as funky. So kicked her off to the testing station today. So she went and got the official test, and we'll see what happens in a couple of days. Do a drive-through. It ain't that simple, John. Sorry, Colorado doesn't work quite as effectively as that. She's went out, she got tested. It's a 48-hour turnaround.
That's a poker chip.
That's a poker picture. Is it a poker chip, or is it a challenge coin chip thing?
No, I think it's a poker chip. I feel like it's a poker chip.
Harley Davidson.
Okay.
You see it?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a cool one. I like that.
Nice.
Is that like a
Cool.
silver? Is that silver printed on the middle?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Lydia tested positive last week.
Hmm.
Who did?
Yeah. Lydia, my daughter.
Oh no, for a school side of things, or
No, we did a home test. She wasn't feeling well, and so we did a
Got
home
it.
test, and she was positive. So I kicked her out.
so I told Mo, I'm like, you start
Yep.
coughing, she gets. I told the rugrat, I'm like, you start coughing, it's a tent in the back garden. End of conversation.
Yeah. So I haven't seen her in a week. I don't know.
Oh,
No, she's good. And since then I did a test, but I think COVID's afraid of me.
good. Long may, honestly, long may that continue. That's all I'll say on that one. I'm hoping
Yeah.
similar, but who knows?
I've been to, before the vaccine was even out, a couple of motorcycle rallies, Vegas, Mexico, and then after that, all over the place. And
Yeah.
I do have the vaccine, but I've never gotten sick.
Oh, long may that continue. Although it's interesting. I mean, there's a bunch of folks who are saying, look, because of the way this latest, I want to say the latest variant, the one that's in the news at the moment, with the easiest way of putting it, apparently they're like, look, everybody's going to get this fucking thing because it is running rampant.
Well, I just Googled what Vicky put
well, at
in
some
there,
point,
'cause apparently we have a new one to be
Oh,
afraid
the
of.
Deltacron one? Yeah. There was, yeah, I know. Well, this is it. I mean, okay, so when was the
Eventually,
last
you're
time
just
you
gonna
heard
call
about it? Go on.
you're just going to call it what it is. It's become a endemic now.
Yes.
It's called the common cold. Fucking deal with it. It's common cold 2.0, and it's more aggressive. I mean, it is. That's what coronavirus is.
3-0.
Has
3-0.
been.
3-0.
Okay,
Common cold.
4-0, 5-0, whatever. New reality.
Well, the good news is the Omicron, it's really only hitting the non-vaccinated hard, right? The people that are
Unless-
vaccinated are getting hit,
Yeah.
but most of the people that I've talked to that have gotten it, who are vaccinated, it's, it feels like a cold to them.
The only downside, and the only Jen unfortunately lost one of her healthcare friends a couple of 4 or 5 days ago, because from a health standpoint, they were not active, they were not able to be healthy, underlying stuff, and unfortunately were carrying quite a few extra pounds on them. And day 1, coffee spluttery, no day 2. And that's and then to your point, most folks who are vaxxed and boosted are at least managing to get through it, but it's still nailing a few folks. And it's weird. There seems to be
75% of the deaths, I think, in the last 3 months have been an average of 4 comorbidities.
of an average of what were you saying? I'm sorry.
4 comorbidities.
Don't understand that.
Four, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Comorbidity.
Yeah.
So 4 additional things that were going to kill them
Oh, got it.
Anyhow.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Oh, yeah, no, that makes sense. And that makes it, if anything, it just seems to be accelerating everything and saying, yeah, which sucks. I mean, it sucks. I mean, some of that you can control, no two ways about it. As a human, you have elements of control over some of yourself, but there's some of it that's just Mother Nature. This is what you were given. Deal with it. And unfortunately, this just goes donk.
Well, and that's it. I mean, this is life. People live, people die. People, die for some weird ass reason that, some people take risks and don't suffer the consequences from it. Some people don't take any risks and, die on their couch. So,
it's tough though. It's weird how it's weird how we've, let's say, vilified this to some degree. I mean, when people turn up to work and they had the flu, you get pissed off with them. And you try and send them home, or you'd be like, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing?" But you didn't take them out and tar and feather them. But when somebody's got, and the consequences are almost the same. You pass the flu on to somebody else, and you stand a chance of killing them because you don't know their underlying conditions. And yes, this is unfortunately nasty, and no two ways about it. But I know it sucks. No matter which way, it just sucks. The whole thing sucks.
Well, one thing about human beings is we have a very short memory span. We quickly forget about the things that, even the impactful things like 9/11 or the Afghanistan pullout or, any number of things. It doesn't take long before it's ancient history. And so this will happen the same way.
I got somebody, I was talking, I had a really, really good, and I've actually sent her on to both of you guys, Rebecca. She'll reach out. She either has reached out or she will reach out. Amazing lady, been doing some really, really cool stuff. And I was talking with her today about just future life, the universe, and everything. And I talked to her about, I can't remember, because she's in Oregon. And I'm like, oh my gosh, last time I was there for any length of time was with Janella. And she's like, who? And I was talking about the TV series I did years ago. So we end up finding it on YouTube. She actually put a quick LinkedIn post out, and I didn't realize it was like 12, 13 years ago. And it was all about scams. And I'm like, this is 12, 13 years ago. And we're doing TV on it, and we're doing this on it. And here we are 12, 13 years later. And it's the same shit. The attack vectors have changed a bit, but it's the same shit. I'm like, we've had half a fucking generation to figure this out, and we still are there.
Well, that's what they say, right? The wisdom is, and the one thing about wisdom is wisdom never changes, right? The same wisdom 50, 100, 200 years ago is still, very valid today. One of the wisdom things is history always repeats itself. Here we are, just cycling over again. Sorry.
So I came up with a security control that I think might actually reduce business email compromise. Setting the mandatory accessibility setting to read the email out loud. Like, make that a mandatory default that the email has to be put into an auditory form so that they can hear how fucking stupid the email sounds. So they go, hey, wait, that doesn't sound right. Something's wrong with this.
I don't know, man. People don't listen either.
You stand a better shot, I promise. We have to get the physical engaged in this. I keep running into it. I keep thinking about it. I've been boggling my mind for days and weeks. And if you read it out loud, it sounds dumb. It does. Read Dana Manila. I'm probably butchering her name, and I apologize, Dana. But she does like scam emails read out loud as like a YouTube deal. And you can find some of it on LinkedIn and find it on YouTube. And it's hilarious because it's like, oh my God. And people are falling for that.
But the only solution we haven't tried, because we've tried all these things, is accountability. You suffer the consequences. You made the shitty choice. Sorry. Just like you chose not to take the vaccine. Sorry. You chose whatever you chose. Sorry.
Yeah. That speaks to Chris's bodies. I mean, it's not very different from his bodies, right? It's
all right. So
you're seeing that today, right now, with a lot of the crime shit. Mm-hmm. The reason for it, there was the punishment, but then there was also the deterrent, right? Because if you saw, a fellow criminal just get, life in prison for whatever, you're like, ooh, shit, I might want to watch next time. There's no deterrent either. It's like, oh, I clicked the link. Yeah, fuck it.
But how forceful does that deterrent got to get? I mean, do we go Middle East where, first time around, you lose a hand, second time, I mean, how much of a deterrent is needed before people pay attention?
Well, that's relative, right? I mean, you can't say what is a deterrent, right? I mean, that a deterrent exists, right? Because yeah, I don't think you can answer that question, with any kind of objective.
Not easily. I mean, I've gone squirreling a little bit. I've been working on a bunch of things, and for goodness sakes reasons, I've had A&E, the police thing running, and they're like, hey, we're chasing this person, and by the way, they've got 6 priors and 3 these and a fucking partridge in the pear tree, and I'm like, motherfucker, A, why are they out? B, apparently your system ain't fixing the problem, little buddy. So it's, yeah, we got a deterrent, but even the damn deterrent doesn't seem to want to fix the problem either, for crying out loud, because it just doesn't. Or they're going to be locked up overnight and they're back out again. Oh, well, I'll go buy another.
Things are so fucked up now. We victimize the criminals and criminalize the victims.
The victims, yeah. Ooh, speaking of that shit show, did you see that our royal dick out of the pants has just had all of his titles and peerages removed?
I wasn't going to bring it up, but that's because they know he ain't about to win this, so they want to distance themselves as quick as possible before that, and who knows what else comes to light as a result of that.
Yeah, that's I mean, you're innocent until proven guilty, yada 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 yada. However,
no, that's criminal, Chris. This is civil.
Yeah, well,
that those rules don't apply in civil court. This is a civil issue.
Oh, that's true. It's gone civil, hasn't it? Yeah.
There are no criminal justice protections, no Fifth Amendment to be invoked, no Like
I'm really interested on this one because, especially after Gazelle having her ass handed to her, which was long overdue. Let's face it.
I don't think he makes it to trial. I'm calling that out now. I'm going to say suicide, plane crash, car accident, heart attack, slip and fall down the stairs. Insert reason why he suddenly is fucking dead before he has a chance to sing. That's what I think is going to happen.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. Either self-inflicted or otherwise, shall we say. I know where you're going on that one. I know exactly where you're going on that one.
And if I'm him, I'm gonna be singing some songs.
No, if I was him, I'd be getting the fuck out of the country because there is little forgiveness in that family for anything that steps outside of the playbook.
Well, Venezuela's still not an extradition, right?
Oh, is it?
I think it's still not an extradition to the U.S.
Who knows?
Well, yeah. Well,
no, that's official channel. I didn't say rendition. I said extradition. These are distinctly different things that can happen.
Yeah.
Who the fuck would go to Venezuela?
No,
somebody trying to hide out from the U.S. government.
And the British
that place is. I mean, no, that place is such a shit show right now.
Screw you and your damn US government. The British monarchy's got, believe me, they've got a lot longer memories than you and your US government. I mean, remember, hey, I don't want to be married. I'm just going to lop the head off. It's an easier, simpler solution to this. Oh, what do you mean I can't do that? Well, fuck you and your religion. Yeah, we're changing the rules. Have a nice day. Sorry, we've had a few years to practice that shit.
And I think if he does manage to go to court, that it'll be sealed. I don't think the public's gonna have the same visibility into it that they did the gasoline, because again, it's civil, not criminal. Therefore, the public's need to know is dramatically reduced.
So I would. Where are they doing it? I didn't see it. Are they doing it U.S.
New York.
court?
New York.
Oh, they are doing it U.S. court. It's not UK. They're doing US court.
Nope. New York State.
Well, we might know a way of getting that unsealed.
Yeah. I mean, not the most corrupt state in the United States or anything. New York is not known for its rife corruption or anything like that.
I would go with I put Chicago above New York from a corruption standpoint.
Chicago is a city. New York's a whole state. The corruption's at the state level in New York.
No. When I'm thinking, you think so? You reckon?
Yeah.
All right. Well, if we got
Google Albany space corruption, and when you get to page 999,000 of Google, holler at your boy. It goes back many years, man. We're talking. Oh my gosh. We're talking. Hundreds of years of crap.
Interesting. I didn't realize. I mean, I knew it had its fair share of issues. I'd always had Chicago as being the more. Yeah, I'd always put Chicago down as more. Actually, okay.
Chicago's where the mob went after they had full control over New York, and we're looking.
I'm well aware of that one, unfortunately, for all various reasons. Actually, there is so Google, what is the most corrupt U.S. state? What is I wonder if that's
all right. So we all three have to do it because we're all three going to get different results. According to my results, Vermont is number 1.
Yeah.
Then mine Utah, says, Arizona, Oregon, says Colorado.
Mine says Great Britain is number 1.
Bugger off.
Is that a state now?
We seceded from. I would say seceded from the Union. We seceded. Yeah, we did. We seceded from the European Union. So
Wyoming has the highest rate of conviction for corruption per capita, with 84 people per 10,000 being convicted.
There's only 90 people that live there.
Hang on. No. Maybe this is the wrong way of asking it, because the corrupt US state is different, because God knows what goes into those numbers. What I care about is the most corrupt, of the state. In other words, Senate. Well, I mean, those that have the power over others, if that makes sense. So be it police, anybody, we're looking at police, senators, politicians, that side of it. Because I don't want criminal. I don't want it that. I don't know how we get that one.
So New York is, according to this one, the most corrupt state, with Chicago being the most corrupt city.
Oh, I got
Washington Post.
I'm on Washington Post, correct? Yes,
I got Forbes. Correct. I got Forbes as my first one. Chicago remains the most corrupt city, with the Illinois Northern Judicial District public corruption convictions, followed by Los Angeles. When the hell was this written? 2020. So this is from 2020.
Yeah, this is 2021.
Yes. On the list I'm looking at, it's Illinois and New York, and you flip which one's at the top.
Illinois Northern Judicial District is followed by Los Angeles with 1,500, New York Southern Judicial with 1,300. And the District of Columbia. DC is the highest number of public corruption convictions per 110,000 inhabitants. This is due to several factors, i.e. it's a cesspool of politicians. Center of national government. Okay, this is where it gets bad. The center of national government has the highest number of public corruptions. What does that say about the state that we're in?
It says that and it goes back to something I said on episode 4. We, the American citizen, do not actively participate in our democracy, and so we got what we got.
Wow. Yes.
So we don't do our research. We don't get involved. We don't advocate to be for a better candidate or be the better candidate ourselves. We let the rich folks do the thing. They run the TV ads. We show up on a Tuesday. We check a couple bubbles, and then we go have lunch.
Yeah.
I know people that vote the incumbent. They don't even know who these people are. It doesn't matter. Well, I vote party line. That's it. I don't need to watch anything. I don't need to know anything. I'm going to go with party line because that's what my daddy did. And that's what my grandpa did. And that's what I'm going to do.
Uh-oh, hang on. Cookie consent manager. How many cookies have we got?
26 cookies, at least 15 from Google itself. How close am I? Am I accurate here?
No, hang on. I'm actually going to run it by a third party because I've given up trying to count them. Give me a second. This ain't pretty. Damn, what was that cookie? I talked to, hang on. There was a website I sent to people about cookie munching, and I can't remember what the hell it was. Give me a sec.
Yeah, that's a thing happening right now. Weaponized cookies.
Oh, yeah, and it ain't pretty.
It's not, and it's happening, and they haven't even begun to do anything with it yet. But it's out there. Those cookies have been swapped. There are infected cookies everywhere, laying in wait for somebody to do something with them.
Give me a sec before you go all. What am I looking at? I know what I want. I know
what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you're saying. Hang on, I can't find the stupid things. All right. I gotta look on my. It's getting bad when I've got to look on LinkedIn to find out the link that I gave to people. Cookies. There we go. All right. 22 comments. That should be an easy one to find. Speaking of corruption, Formula One. All right, cookies. Where's the gosh darn it all? I put the website out there. Where the hell did I put the stupid cookie website? Cookies and nom 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 nom. Previous messages. I put a website out for people to check their cookies. There it is, cookiemetrics.com. Yeah, Cookie Metrics is actually really, really cool. It's a free online. It's actually for EU law analyzing for cookies. But it's actually a really good one. Let me just see if I can put this one in. We're analyzing the page. This may take a few minutes because we're about to get ourselves eaten with a virtual machine. All right. You said, how many did you say? 20, 24? Well, the nice thing I like about this one is it tells it if it's GDPR compliant as well. The fact that Sky Sports is actually an English one seems this page is not compliant with EU law. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 32, 33, 35, 37, 40, 42, 40. Fuck it. It just keeps going. How about we just go with lots?
I like it.
It's just not pretty. Expires in 730 days. I hate people. Although there was one I found that expired in 10 years. I'm like, oh, you people. All right, so let's just say it's not good. All right, so yeah, District of Columbia is the worst because, and then to your point, it looks like it's a toss-up between New York and Illinois.
It's a thing. All right, there we go. I'm putting a poll out to the community.
Ooh, what are you doing?
I'm putting a poll out. I feel like I need to do a poll, so I did a poll.
How the hell did you do a poll? Where is the poll? Why don't I know?
I got the power to do polls.
Oh, you did. Why is Evan off camera?
We're gonna find out. What do people say? You guys,
how do I
poll, let us know.
I can't click it. How do I click the stupid thing? What do I do to do this poll?
I don't think you have the view for it. But Chris, weren't we supposed to follow some kind of format because we're like running on?
Yeah, we are way out of format. Is that why Evan's gone off screen? Is that why Evan's gone off screen? Because we definitely.
I think so. I think that's part of it.
Yeah,
sorry, Evan.
That's why we always do this on my topic. So I'm like, fuck you guys.
Oh no, we did it on mine last week. We spent like an hour yakking about something. All right, I'll shut up. You're up.
No, I don't want to be up anymore. I'm sleeping now.
I'm going to call bullshit on you sleeping because you don't sleep. Let's face it.
I did sleep once. It was good. Yeah, no, I was doing work while you guys were doing whatever the fuck you were doing.
We were doing cookie munching.
Well, I know. I heard. Good for you.
And apparently I can't do a poll, which is very depressing in some ways. All right, I'm shutting up. What are we talking about?
I don't remember now. What the fuck are we talking about?
It's on the YouTube. It's on the YouTube description.
Shit or get off the pot. I get frustrated by people who talk shit and don't back it up. I get tired of people that are in positions of security, power, who aren't nearly as, there's like this, we read a lot about imposter syndrome. The problem is in our industry, we have a shitload of imposters, people who can't do what they say they can do. Pride gets in the way. I'm tired of, some days I get really fucking tired of working with states because you have so many state CISOs who think they got their shit together and they're fucked. So it's, if people would actually do what they say, like if you tell me you take information security seriously, you don't have an asset inventory. Well, fuck you. You can't tell me you take it seriously. It's the basic shit that we just keep going over and over and over again. It gets tiring. So that was kind of the backstory for, tonight's topic was do what you say you're going to do and perform. We get paid pretty well, most of us, and even the ones who complain about not getting paid well, you still get paid well. Look at what the rest of the world's making. I'm a guy who likes to accomplish shit. I want to get shit done. Working with state of New Jersey, state of Minnesota, state of Iowa, I get really frustrated when we can't get the task done for whatever fucking reason. So that's the topic.
And I feel this. So as I was thinking about this tonight, I've been taking a lot of actions this last week to push out things, to move needles. It's kind of my jam this year. Like I'm going to get a little abrasive and aggressive and I'm going to move needles. You're either going to fucking do it or I'm going to do it for you. And then I'm going to take away your excuses. Right. So like, for example, K-12 is my passion and K-12 struggles for a lot of valid reasons and a lot of invalid reasons. And K-12 creates some messes for itself that are wildly unnecessary. And I keep hearing how we don't have and we don't got time to, and we don't have and we don't got time to. I said, great. So I'm about to publish. Evan has seen the preview. And I take no credit for this. The only piece I'm doing in this is taking someone else's amazing work and making it available for everyone to benefit from. That's literally it, right? I don't claim any authorship or anything, but Security Studio is about to publish a plug and play, fill in the blank, learning continuity, learning impact analysis plan, which for the rest of us is a business continuity, business impact plan, but we need to word it to fit that culture. So we did. And it's plug and play. You literally just have to fill out what service and products you have. Everything else is already framed and friendly. The language is district approved. It's good stuff. Just fill in your apps, whether it's on-prem or cloud hosted, and whether or not you've got an SLA or an RTO RPO. That's it. Now that's done. You have that on file. You can work from this plan and it will help guide you through that next step. So that's how I'm shitting. Because when Evan, you put this out, a few weeks ago when we were show planning, it did get gears thinking, what are you doing? And, and I put a post out on LinkedIn, I don't know, sometime in the last few nights that I haven't been sleeping because I'm trying to pretend I'm Evan. But the outcome of it is protection over profit. put your fucking money where your mouth is. I'm not asking you to give away the farm, but if everybody did just a little bit more of the right thing for the right reason, gave a little bit of more content away at no gate, no charge, we could actually get some progress here. So can't make everybody do what we do, but we can sure as hell lead the charge.
Yeah.
You know, so that's my gut take on shit or get off the pot. Either fucking start doing something that actually moves the needle. Doesn't, you know, it's not about increasing your license count. Yeah, that's great. It's, you know, is your product or service truly doing anything that benefits this security program? Or are you just throwing more layers of garbage on top to keep the fucking smoke and mirrors running? Or are you, you know, because if we think about, you know, asset inventory, right? Evan's favorite hill, right? He loves the basics of the fundamentals.
Not my favorite.
Well, accountability is your favorite, but the very next actionable step one can take to demonstrate their accountability and commitment to doing InfoSec is, you know, that asset inventory. And so I came up with a phrase for Security Studio because I was pondering this. Whether you're getting started or you're starting over, Security Studio's got you covered. And I think some people are at a point now where the complexity is such that it's time to abandon and start over. Cut a line in the sand, let the legacy shit go, because you're never going to fix it. It's going to be a baler wire, scotch tape. I wrote a policy that kind of sort of fits this bad practice that I have versus saying, what do we need to do to be secure going forward? What do we got to do to future-proof this? And let's fucking do a cutover.
And to some degree, I mean, that was the logic for people going to the cloud was, hey, it's greenfield. And there are people who did start off with that intention. I mean, I remember having many conversations along those, like, hey, what we have is hellacious. Nobody wants to touch it, and those that do fail. Therefore, let's take a greenfield and carefully move things over. And you know, road to hell is paved with good intention, shall we say, unfortunately. And not only even if you mean to start off that way, if you don't have the policies and the controls and you aren't integrated effectively with the business, no matter how you start off, the damn thing's going to morph, live and breathe. And if you can't keep your hands wrapped around it, you're screwed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, my biggest frustrations are, you know, people who won't admit they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And so instead they do something where you would have been better off not doing anything. Like you would be better off as a CISO in a lot of places if you just didn't do a fucking thing rather than do shit that you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Because when you do shit that you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you end up pissing away a bunch of money. You end up giving people a false sense of security. You end up being a barrier to getting shit done the right way, because your fucking ego gets in the way and pride. So that's probably one of my biggest pet peeves is, and you can talk to your face is blue and they'll keep defending whatever the fuck they're doing. And then when shit does go sideways, because it will eventually, then it's finger pointing. Well, fucking users or, you know, whatever. And they're the same CISOs or the same security people who complain all the time about what users do. They complain all the time about not having enough budget, not having enough resources, not having enough staff. It's like the reason why you don't have that shit is because you suck at your job. I mean, let's just call it out. You can't justify your fucking budget. You can't communicate well with the ones who approve the budget. And if you are doing everything you fucking can right and you just keep banging your head against the wall, then leave. If you're good enough, if you're skilled enough and you're shitting enough, then go shit somewhere else.
Right.
You know what I mean? And let management flounder, you know? So it's just this kind of stagnant, like, I think, I don't know, that's definitely one frustration. And then another frustration is just people, I think that lose track of why we're actually doing what the fuck we're doing, right? The information I protect, most of it, 99.9% of the information I protect isn't mine. It's not my information. There's somebody else behind this, maybe a couple of layers that will suffer if I make shitty choices. And I think a lot of us don't feel the weight of that. We don't feel the weight of those decisions. So yeah, I do a fuckload of shitting. I like shitting. Shitting feels good. I go to bed every night or morning or whenever the fuck I go to bed, tired, exhausted. knowing I busted my ass. I only have one life to live. At the end of this life, I'm going to be face to face with Jesus, and he's going to say, well done. That's the whole reason I do whatever the fuck I do. And so I'd like to see more fire in people's belly, more like, I want to do something good today. I want to help somebody today. I want to push the ball forward. I want to move things forward. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Somehow I got this CISO job. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, admit it. Come talk to somebody. I'd love to fucking help you. And I may not know the answers either, but I know other people. Instead of you faking and just sitting in the fucking toilet and not shitting, I want to go shit. So get the fuck out of the way.
And if you wait too long, I might throw some shit at you.
It's also
it takes, man.
It's also a perfect case today. I was talking, there's a company that wants to do a whole bunch of stuff around API security. Love the idea, love the concept, but at the moment it's definitely most companies will see it as it's a nice to have, not a need to have. Argue that to the cows come home. But they were like, hey, what's your knowledge on this? I'm like, enough to be dangerous, but not enough to be able to help. Hey, and I'm on LinkedIn. I'm like, do me a favor, go talk to these guys. Do me a favor, go have a conversation. Hey, you know what? These folks would be great to talk to. And I'm just, because that's what we should do. And I just wonder, and I think to your point, I wonder how many people don't want to do that. They want it's not even holding knowledge, because half the time they don't have the darn knowledge, but it's not wanting to put their hand up and go, hey, I'm not the be all and end all. I'm not the single point. I know enough to be dangerous, but I'm fortunate that I know a lot of other people who also know enough to be dangerous in different fields. So together, we might have this shit figured out, or at least most of it.
And if I was in a position of control, so if I was a leader of a security program, why the fuck would I ever put technology in place that I don't understand? How does that make any fucking sense? And if I inherited this technology, well then, yeah, you obviously need to go and find somebody that can either manage it or get it the fuck out of there. Because we know one of the best principles in security is obviously simplicity, right? Complexity is your worst enemy. We know that. But the next thing is, the more intimately I know, which is closely related, the more intimately I know my environment, the more I'm going to be able to protect it as well, right? I'll be able to notice things that are out of place, right? There's always a reason why shit's happening. There's never like, oh, it's just some random fucking shit. No.
Right. There is no magic.
Something's going on, and I think a lot of times we get lazy, and maybe we're just overwhelmed too, but if you're overwhelmed, then that's another like big indicator. Get rid of some shit. You don't need it. I mean, what do you need? I mean, really, when you look at most organizations, there are, some that are very complex, right? But most organizations, we have what, 9 million companies in the United States today, something like that.
How
most
many?
of those companies,
9,
12, whatever the hell the number is now.
Right.
But a vast majority of businesses, they're critical like systems, email, internet, maybe you've got, QuickBooks, or some shit like that. But, your critical systems, it's very, very simple. So why do you have all this other shit here?
Because people told me I had to have it. I mean, that's, devil's advocate for a second. Not only do people tell me I had to have it, but if I want to go do business with anybody with credit cards, anybody with healthcare, anybody in the government, anybody here, there's a list of things I have to put this tick in the box that tell me that I have it. And that's also one of the biggest issues. Oh, by the way, I got to get a pen test, and they told me that I had to have it, and I'm going to be compliant, which they tell me I have to have it. And I have no fucking clue how to install it or deal with it, because nobody's actually sat down. Nobody's taken the time to sit down with them and go, hey, I'm going to kill you in 24 hours. What do you care about? I will kill your company in the next 24 hours. How would I do it? What do you care about? And how do we make sure that doesn't happen?
Well, how many times have we on this show complained about lack of action, lack of accountability? We talked about false advertising, right? Federal Trade Commission. You got it. You got the law in the fucking books. So you're not shitting. You got it right there. Enforce that shit, right? We've got false advertising going all over the place. And then you've got, Microsoft, one of my favorites, we take security seriously. Really?
Yeah.
How the fuck can you say that with a straight face?
They got what? Quietly say after the fact. You don't catch that part. It's we take security seriously after the fact.
After we go on
that part doesn't get it's not we take code scanning serious, or our development processes are built to produce secure software by default. It's we take security seriously because, hey, we invented Patch Tuesday.
No, we take security seriously because we got our hand caught in the cookie jar. That's it.
Well, right. It's but it's all lip service. I mean, there's so much fucking lip service in our industry. There's so many broken promises. There's so many we can protect you, or, you got to have endpoint. I mean, how the fuck can you live without endpoint? And, you need to have a SOC, and on and on and on. It's like, what the fuck? No, you just need to fucking do the basics.
Who was I talking to? I was talking to somebody the other. Oh, I know what it was. I was getting into a bit of a verbal altercation with. So I'm on a board, and it's a big one. It's not a small one. And somebody had posted, hey, we need all the advisors and all the board people. They wanted some help to go basically validate the messaging that a security company was giving. So I went out there and I viewed the messaging, and I gave my feedback in my normal, wonderfully cool, calm, and collected self. And I took it to shreds, and I did it very nicely, but I took it to shreds. I called, the zero trust messaging bullshit, and I called their protection unfathomable, and I went at it. Now, not that vendor, but another company, and I'm going to say it, fuck it, I really don't care at this point, BlackBerry. So who's behind, who they bought, whatever it was, a year or two ago, for fuck's sakes.
Silence.
Yeah, exactly. So one of their people.
Dear legal team, we do not endorse nor support any of the claims made by Chris or Evan. For any questions, please contact me directly. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so now that he's gotten the disclaimer out of the way, those motherfuckers turned up onto the same forum and basically said, hey, what do you disagree with about zero trust? It's wonderful, it's executed. Those people can't do it. We can do it properly. And I'm like, you motherfuckers. Not only can't you do it properly, I can give you 10 different ways I can bypass your stuff. Oh, that's old shit. I didn't even want to get into the argument that I found the stuff from 2 weeks ago that tells you how to bypass the latest shit. The fact that their AI, I audited inside 2 government agencies and destroyed the fuck out of it and poisoned it as well. And I'm like, you're sitting there talking to a very large board of advisors and everything else, telling them that, no, everybody else is crap and we're good. I'm like, you motherfuckers. That's part of the problem. Not only are we eating our own dog food, we're drinking it down with fucking Kool-Aid.
And it's not dog food.
No, yeah, no shit, exactly. John's like, I read that
it's
post.
The shit that I just laid earlier tonight.
Yeah. It's.
Well, and I want to give a shout out too to the other people, right? Because there are more people out there like us than I think we realize.
Yeah, I think there are some good people.
Yeah.
I do have the opportunity on a couple of the projects I'm working on, big projects, where they do get it. They do get, okay, we've got this huge population of people and organizations that we're going to have to go through the hard work of setting this common language, because they have a stake in the game too, right? We have to bring them along. So there are places where it's going well, but those are people who don't mind working. I think it seems like our population, it frustrates the fuck out of me. I love working. I love it. I love working. And it seems like the American people used to love working. And somewhere along the way, it's like, I don't love working anymore. And it's like, I missed the fucking memo on that.
It's COVID. So COVID makes you,
even before COVID though,
you get an allergy to work, and then you have a severe allergy to hard work from then on. You're immune to COVID, so you don't get it. No, it started in my generation. It started with the parents wanting to make life a little bit, less bumpy. I've thought long and hard about this. 100 years ago, you pulled weight. If you were 3, well, 1 stick of firewood it is, because that's all you can handle, but you're going to carry that 1 stick of firewood. And we fast forward and we get conveniences, and we don't have to scrape and scrabble for our food. The frozen dinner gets invented. You know, a lot of this began in the post-World War II era, where we had a lot of mental illness issues, PTSD and shell shock and other things we weren't treating. And we just kind of put that under the rug and adopted consumerism and convenience. And along with that came a generation that then, you know, free love and all that. And that's great. But then you be nicer and nicer and easier and take more and more barriers out of the experience of growing up. And then you get humans that go, well, I don't have to try. I should be rewarded simply for showing up. And if you're not going to do it, I quit. My Amy is side hustling with Domino's to cover some conference things that she wants to do. Had 4 workers quit this week, and they're paying over $20 an hour.
Damn.
Talk about pay. So I was just looking.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't get it. But
I was just thinking about that. So I was Googling that as you were talking about, you know, pay. The largest companies, this is what I found. The largest companies in the Northeast are, on the whole, paying CISOs the most cash. The median total cash compensation was $610,428 at companies with revenues between $5.1 billion and $20 billion in the Northwest. Now, I get it. $5.1 billion and $20 billion. It's a fairly large company, right? It's not your run of the mill, but that's cash compensation. That doesn't include equity. There's usually some kind of an equity bonus package, some kind of other shit along with that.
Yeah.
So $610,000, that's a fuckload of money.
Yeah. I mean, that's $1 million package.
Mm-hmm. So how do you, I want to know, I would love, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll reach out to the CEOs of these companies and see if any one of them will talk to me, because I want to know, how do you hold them accountable for that? What's the measurement? Like, what's the metric that shows that justifies that dollar amount? Do you have a state of security, some kind of number that you track over time? Is there some kind of measurement? And so, I mean, I'm interested in knowing what justifies that kind of money. I'm not saying you don't earn it, but if I was going to earn that kind of money, even if you fucking gave me that money, I mean, honestly, man, I own 2 companies. I could make that money. I don't want to make that money. I'm not in this for the fucking money. I'm in this to make a difference. But if you gave me that kind of money, I'd want to justify my fucking existence. Why the fuck am I here making this kind of money? Because every dollar I take in salary, I'm taking away from your mission, believe it or not, or I'm contributing to it. And that's why you better be fucking measuring what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
I don't understand how we just hire CISOs because we're supposed to have a CISO, right? The state of New York, I mean, it's a law. You have to have a CISO. Well, is the CISO providing value to the company, or is the CISO just protecting you from loss? Those are 2 different things. $610,000, you better be fucking contributing.
Big time, one way or the other.
That's a lot of money. If I was motivated by money, then I'd be like, fuck it. I can sit on my ass, you know, take my my Delta miles and whatever the fuck I do, and whatever the hell people like that do. And some of them are probably really highly skilled too, right? I mean, I don't know these people, but I am really curious about, how do we measure CISO success?
Well, so here's the problem. I think some companies measure it by, have we been broken into, which is an absolutely terrible way of measuring it. And I think that's the problem. It's like, well, we got broken into, we're getting rid of that leadership. It's almost like it's like football and American football. It's the same thing. Hey, we had a losing season. Yeah, you're out. Well, hang on. What did I inherit? What happened? What am I doing? What have I had chance to do? What have you given me through Ranger? What have I communicated? What have I got to work with? And what changes can I have made? And all the, I mean, no, motherfuckers, you didn't give them a fucking chance. And I think it's a 2-way street on that one.
Find me the company that hasn't been broken into, and I'll show you the file I left behind.
Well, yeah. Well, absolutely. Here's
that needs to be on a sticker.
But here were two telling times in my own career where I was caught. One time I was caught basically with my pants down, right? It was in a board meeting. The CEO asked me, "Hey, Evan, will security make us more money?" And I was like, I'm not prepared to answer that question right now, because I like going into board meetings with facts. I don't like going into board meetings with opinion. Opinions always seem to get me a new asshole, which then means I guess I shit double then, which isn't so bad. But it doesn't feel good. The other time was, I just want, a CEO took me aside, had a candid conversation. I just want you to keep me out of the news. And I said, "Sir, I can't." He's like, "What do you fucking mean you can't?" And I go, "I can't keep you out of the news. That's not the point. That's not what we're trying to do." Well, he ended up firing me as I was a consultant, so I didn't really care, but it was the truth. Right. So if we're measuring performance by that, yeah, that's a shitty fucking metrics. This is about risk management, not risk elimination. And we missed the entire fucking game. So after that, it was like, can information security make a company more money? And the answer in most companies is yes. Mm-hmm. If you want to do the fucking work, if you want to do the calculation, if you want to figure out, if we know complexity is the worst enemy of security, well, then I'm going to be looking for every opportunity possible to simplify things. I'm going to be doing an asset inventory, and I'm going to be looking for areas where we've got duplication of, function in our applications. I'm going to start shedding applications. I'm going to show you how much money we're going to save. Before I got here, you were pissing away, X millions of dollars. Year one, I just saved us 500,000. And I'm also looking for every fucking process that's a convoluted, long ass process and trying to turn it into something small. Save the South dollars. So, yeah. But that was a really telling time. I don't think we do that enough either. We don't justify our existence. We justify our existence based on fear, based on loss, based on negative consequences, which I understand because risk itself is negative. It's always a bad event. So I get that, but be creative. Turn this into a positive event. What will I get for security as opposed to what will I lose if I don't?
Right.
So here's an interesting one. Just thinking about it, slight squirrel, but not a slight squirrel. I sent to both of you to one of the extracts from the conversation day before yesterday, whenever it was I had with this bunch. Yeah. The fucking Silence shit. And and there are a couple of other bits on this one, but I said two other pieces on this. And one
I will copy and paste that and put that into my AI.
Yeah, no shit. One of them was, and there was two pieces I dropped on them. And I'm like, the first one follows on from this, which is when you walk into an organization, and when I walk into an organization, when anybody walks in, walking in with your solution doesn't help if they're not that far along on the pathway. And he's like, "Oh no, everything's fine." I'm like, "Fuck you." I said, "No, go back to the how can you protect what you don't know is there, or we can protect." Don't even fucking get me started. But I think that's one of those things, go back to the VCSO thing. We need to help companies identify what step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 are. Now that you've gotten to that point, now we can go talk to vendors. Now we can go have those conversations. Flip that, the other part of the conversation before I forget it. The other thing that I was frustrated about, again, if I go the CE, I know, but you don't even have to send that. I actually gave that to Rachel today and said to her, Rebecca, the Rebecca lady that I've gotten you two in contact with, and I sent her to this. I said, "You need to look at this." I did say she might have to negotiate with you on the financial side of things, but I'll leave you two to deal with that.
You could call me and we'll make it work.
That's what I figured.
Yep, I got it. Just send her my way.
Here's the one thing
I haven't even told Kevin yet. I've already set up 3 people that couldn't afford it.
Oh, yeah, I got a couple too, so we'll figure it out. Just
you might have I'll probably ping her in a second. Hey, so the other thing that I think that's probably wearing us down, especially on the leadership inside our industry, we have war on one front. Let's be perfectly honest. We know we've been at war for the last X number of years on the adversary front. That's a war we know about. The other war that we fight is the internal war. Is that, hey, how do we help an organization understand? And there's an argument it is a battle. Now, it might not need to be a battle, but it is at the moment. And it's how do we do it? But the biggest one that frustrates the hell out of me, and again, coming from a military, is I'm at war with my own fucking supply chain. Mm-hmm. So I'm having to fight a battle on 3 out of 3 fronts. That's unwinnable.
No, well, it's not. I mean, what do you do when you're fighting a battle like that?
You consolidate. You consolidate and you focus. And to your point, you find allies.
Right. I'm looking for allies in situations like that. So when I'm confronted and I feel like I'm being attacked from all angles, I have 2 choices: find some allies or cut bait, surrender, get the fuck out of here. So, so if I'm getting attacked by management, I'm getting attacked by internal, I'm getting attacked by supply chain, or wherever I'm getting attacked from, can I turn any of those people into my ally? Can I figure out, especially the CEO? I love when I get the opportunity. I don't do as much consulting as I used to, but I loved when I could get a CEO on my side. All you have to do is figure out what motivates them. Talk to them, have lunch, right? Have a lunch and see how they behave. See if he's got a nice ass Rolex on and drives a sweet ass fucking, whatever car. Well, maybe his motivation's money. Maybe it's ego, but probably money.
Financial.
Well, if it's money, then every time I'm going to talk to you, I'm going to tell you how I can make you more money. I'm going to tell you how I can save us more money, more profit. Hey, you want a bigger bonus? Fuck yeah, you do. You know what I mean? And so I can turn that person then into, but I think a lot of us are too, in our industry, I don't know if it's lack of experience or if it's lack of creativity, if it's laziness, if it's pride, or what stops us from saying, okay, I'm getting it from here, I'm getting it from there, I'm getting it from over here. Can I turn one of these into my ally? And then instead of 3-on-1, now it's 2-on-2 potentially. And then can I maybe tip this other person? Can I use, or can I leverage this new ally I've got? If I got the CEO now as my ally, can I leverage that maybe to get the other executives? You know what I mean?
I would say it's lack of experience at those levels. It's a lot of us have worked our way up, and you don't typically get to, at a business level, interact with other areas of a business until you're either head of one of those areas or as near as damn it to that. Even management talks to management, senior. I think it's lack of that experience. And unfortunately, typically you don't get it until you're in it. And it's back to the whole industry. Hey, you can't come into our industry unless you've got all this experience. Well, now we're glass ceiling ourselves there. We need people who have that experience to be able to walk into the boardroom and go, hey, how can we deal with this? How can I help you?
But I have a harsh reality. The problem that I see is what makes one good at the technical side of this job inherently serves as a disservice for the people side of this job. And if they tend to be good at the people side of this job, it tends to serve as a disservice to the technical side of this job.
But then to Evan, you partner up.
You do. But I will say that from my observation, lack of role clarity and accountability, to hit on Evan's favorite, right? But it's how many CISOs aren't clear. I just told somebody else today, because Evan says wisdom shit, and then I parrot it back because, hey, why not? Saves me from having to think of my own. But what he says, and it makes sense, is CISO has 2 fucking functions. That's it. There are 2 things, 1, 2. What is it? Can you explain it in language that resonates with the people you're trying to explain it to? And implementing whatever decision is the outcome of hopefully your good consulting that landed in them making a wise risk decision. But even when they don't, implementing it to the best of your ability and limiting the damage for whatever is the outcome, right? And that's it. It's not to make the decisions. It's not to set the technology direction. It's not to secure the business. It's not to do these 800,000 other things that I swear to you, if we did a survey of what CISOs think their jobs are, I suspect that the two things that their job really is would be some of the lowest scoring things on the list. Actually, I
Well,
wonder
and
if we should do this.
All right, keep talking. I need liquid.
I mean, you know, like, and so there is the root of the systemic problems that manifest themselves as things such as budget being spent on tech that doesn't fucking actually work, and not knowing what's in their environment, and not prioritizing, and not having effective governance that's built to fit the company culture, not force you to align to NIST. Good luck with that. NIST doesn't even align to NIST. So, you know.
Well, and here's the thing, man. Most of the wisdom that people gain over the years is gained through pain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if I already paid the dumb tax and you believe that I paid the dumb tax, then why the fuck are you repeating the same mistakes I've made? I mean, I do the same thing with my kids. You know, I have one left, right? The other four are out of the house, and they're productive members of society, right? They did better than I did at this age. This last one, she's putting everything to the test, man. It's like, why would you do this? I've already done this. I can tell you how this works. You know, I've done it. It hurts. Do you want the pain? No. Well, that's where you're heading. And I can tell you how to get out of it. But it's the same thing with security, right? You learn, you know, and it's nothing special about me or, you know, whatever. It comes with years, right? I mean, it's 30 years in this industry. I've taken enough beatings at the board level. I've taken enough beatings from all angles that, yeah, a CISO has two jobs, just two.
Yeah.
You consult the business to make good risk decisions, and then you implement those risk decisions to the best of your ability. That's it.
That is it.
Now, there's an ass load of shit that supports all of that, and I get it. But at the end of the day, that's my job. I could put that in a job description, 2 lines, done. You look at job descriptions on the internet about CISOs, and I think I posted.
Oh, Lord. First off, there's no consistency.
They don't even know what the fuck they're looking for.
No.
And so, you know, and I'm not, and usually when I ask a question of somebody, I already have, I'm not asking a question because I want to put you on the spot. I'm asking a question because I want you to fucking think. I know the answer. You know, 42. I know the answer to the question. Well, but you know, it's like the answer. How many times have I asked people, give me your definition of information security? And people are like, well, it's, you know, CIA. Really? How do you apply that? Right. You know, or it's, you know, what does the CISO do? Well, you know, they secure the organization. What the fuck does that mean? I mean, put that into practice. You know, and so one of the things I'd asked about earlier in this discussion is these CISOs that are making this assload of money. How do you justify their existence? How do you measure their performance? I have an answer, and I wish you did too, right? My answer would be, you always have to tell 4 things to the board of directors or the CEO or whoever the fuck's in charge here. Where are we at? Where are we going? When we get in there? And how much is it going to cost? That's it. I tell you those 4 things. You measure my performance against what I just told you. I told you where we're at. I told you where we're going. I told you when we're going to get there, and I told you how much it's going to cost. If I go over cost, if it goes too long, or I didn't make my fucking number, there you go. It's not rocket science. Rocket science is rocket science. This is fucking security, you know? And so instead, what you normally have, there's either no performance measurement whatsoever. That's got to be the highest paid job in the fucking company that doesn't have a measurement of performance.
Yes.
The CFO does. Yeah. The COO does. The CTO does. Sales definitely does. You know, so it's just frustrating how we exist and we feel like we're like unicorns. And I get it, man. I don't want to rip on somebody and say you're not special. We're all special. Mm-hmm. But there's a point where you take advantage of your specialness, where you start taking advantage of other people. Like, oh, I'm special. Really? What are you doing? Well, special shit. Tell me about your special shit. Well, we spent $20 million on security last year. I'm like, so you pissed away $20 million on security last year? Or,
right.
I mean, what did that do for you? You know, but not having these fucking fundamental answers, I don't understand it. Because if you were paying me $610,000 a year, I better be damn skilled at my fucking job.
Yeah.
I better come into that fucking job with, this is how you're going to measure my performance. This is what I'm going to do for you. This is how I'm going to propel our business closer to the mission, make us more money. You know, and we don't do that shit. That's the frustrating part about us in general. And I know there's exceptions to the rule, but in general, us as an industry, we're doing a lot of sitting on the pot. We ain't doing any fucking shitting. We ain't moving the needle at all. And if anything, the needle has gone backwards because what we've done is added more and more and more and more fucking complexity. And I talked about this before about that dog trying to chase that fucking school bus.
Yep.
That's us. The school bus is going like 55 miles per hour right now. The dog's going like 12.
I just read an article where they added extra letters to VLAN and VPN.
I know. You said that to me. I was like, what the fuck is this?
I said it to you too, Chris. Yeah. They added extra letters and they're attempting to sell K-12 on the idea that VLAN.
They called it next gen.
With extra letters in front of them, such as EVPN and EVLAN or something, somehow makes this a magical new security technology. Now,
I was doing that same shit back in 2003.
And the article doesn't explain that you can make VLANs, but if your ACLs and your routes and your ingress and egress ain't fucking lock solid, I'm gonna walk across your VLAN like I'm on the single subnet. I mean,
and you know what they're gonna say about that? You know what they're gonna say about that? I.e., Kevin Mandia. It's operationally cumbersome.
Oh, okay. It's
operationally cumbersome to use a fucking firewall the way it was designed to be fucking used.
Which bunch of shit splattered window licking motherfucking muppets came up with that crap?
Cisco, Dell, and I can't remember who the third one was in that. And as I was reading that, I was like, wait a fucking second. I was doing that in 2003.
That is correct.
This isn't new.
People.
You added some extra letters. You called it next gen. You remarketed
EVPN and VXLAN.
You remarketed it, and now you're going after the most vulnerable market space in our entire industry.
You know this is going to be a fucking LinkedIn post, don't you?
It should be.
Going after.
They
literally K-12. Are you fucking kidding me?
They're scared and they're nervous and they know they got money, so they put out this EVPN, which I don't even think that's a thing, and
What's a thing?
Hang on, Ethernet VPN.
Correct.
Oh, can we have
2003?
No. Fuck this. We're doing TVPN. We're doing token ring VPN.
Oh.
Ours is better.
I like it. Let's just take it way more secure, because at least now I know what the tokens in the ring are and I control the rings. So it's more secure.
And because it's based on
I don't know, man.
No. And because
if we're gonna go here, 802.3 was Ethernet. I think 802.5 was token ring. So if you want to go back to like true Ethernet, right? We're talking about the BNC connectors, talking about the serial bus, we're talking about all that shit.
No, mouse and cows. Let's go mouse and cows. Mouse and cows.
By using a layer 3 based underlay within the EVPN VXLAN overlay, campus network operators can deploy much larger networks. They're trying to convince you that layer 2 and layer 3 among the VPNs. So they're using this sophisticated layer 3 technology. OSI model, anyone? The sophisticated layer 3 tech.
Fucking hate people. Oh, hang on. No, our TVPN will be based on blockchain, because every time you motherfucking mess with my damn token and you try to fuck around with it, it adds and edits the damn chain. So I know you fucked around with my token. So my TVPN is better than your EVPN.
Okay, but to connect to my VPN server, you have to have a US Robotics 56K modem.
Ooh.
And it's dial in. Thanks.
I'm just gonna end all of this. I'm choosing the last letter in the alphabet, Z VPN. Fuck you.
But
I don't know what it is.
And this article,
I don't know what it does, but I don't have to know what it
Was
does.
that, hang on, was that IBM's, so you think about it, IBM, they have the Z series. Was that IBM's, so I don't know the reasons for why they called it the Z series. Was that the reason for the Z series?
Yes.
Because it's the last letter, so it's fuck you, you can't be better than us?
Yes.
I want to know that for certain. I would love to know if anybody has folklore on that, if that was the case. Evan, if you're to speak.
My mother was at IBM at the time and was on that project. I'll ping her. I
would love to know, because I mean, I wouldn't put it past IBM, but that just suddenly, when you said I'm going to use the last letter and it's Z or Z or whatever, I'm like, oh my God, I went straight to the IBM Z series. And I'm like, wow, I wonder if that's why they did it that way.
Well, and from what I understand, because growing up with my mom at IBM, my father was at Northern Telecom. He was on the team that invented ISDN.
Oh shit!
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's
so
really cool.
Yeah, so it was always geeky, and I always picked up things around the dinner table. But from my understanding, the reason why they chose Z wasn't maybe what you're saying, but it was because it was supposed to be the ultimate.
Yes.
Which would make the end. That's it. I mean wow. Well, there we go. We've actually. I feel like I've learned something pretty fucking awesome and folklorish on the shit show. I'm happy.
Hey.
I didn't know your relation. We actually, so here's a fun one. You're familiar with DISC, the communication protocol DISC. One of our partners' father was the pioneer of that methodology. Cool. I learned that the other day on a call. He's like, yeah, my dad's some big psychologist guy. He came up with DISC. Maybe you heard of it. I'm like, I have actually heard of that. And small world.
It was cool back in the 90s. I can't even tell you how many ISDN networks I was, not really installing. I didn't work for a telco, but I was, it was everything, CPE on, right? So, over and over and over again. And I was so proud of my dad. I was like, my dad invented this. And like, no shit. I'm like, yeah, look him up. Yeah.
I just learned that about you now. I've known you for several years, and I did not know this story. So this explains some things. I thought maybe you were abducted as a child, by space aliens and given some like superficial knowledge. But if your dad is the guy that figured out ISDN, then there's some DNA stuff there. I think that's good. I like it.
Right.
That's good.
Well, and there's a lot of shit you don't talk about, you know what I mean? From the early days, there's
like 99% of it. You'll never find a post for me about anything ever. Thanks.
Right.
The statute of limitations for the CFFA is 2 years. I do not think there is a criminal statute.
Well, one of the things you'll learn about statute of limitations though, is they will make exceptions.
Oh yeah.
That is correct.
If you were impactful enough, because I had my first felony at the age of 14. And I'll just leave it at that. It gets sealed at the age of 18, thank God. So that didn't hold me back from getting clearances and shit that I needed for, paid work. But I loved those days though, because it was so exploratory. It was so new. Everything was so fucking new. Everything was like, oh my God, how does this work? My parents bought me an Apple IIc for Christmas one year. And at the time it was like $5,000 for that fucker. And I would say by mid-January, I had that thing torn apart and broken. My parents were like, yeah, my dad being a 20-year Marine, I'm surprised I lived through that. Yeah, those were fun days, man. I loved stealing my neighbor's phone service. You'd have to do that at night because I'd have to run a line from there across. Yep. It wasn't a highly technical attack, but it was very effective.
It was effective. That was a nice thing once upon a time when they terminate stuff outside the houses. I didn't realize in this country, the fuse boxes in the certain states and places, for like some of the few stuff and all that side. When I first came over here, I giggled like a fucking school kid.
Right.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
Yeah, sorry, no props. You know, but yeah, that astounded me.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
It's
one of the conversations I had this week, I had a conversation with the state CISO. It's another, positive piece on this, shit or get off the pot.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned, physical security. I've always preached, not always, again, this is one of those things you learn from taking your beatings, but you can't separate technical security from physical security. You can't protect that from safety, right? They're all integrated.
Yeah, they're all integrated.
A weakness in one, can easily find itself in another. And I was talking to a CISO this week, and we're working on, I don't know, 600 maybe water treatment facilities.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a fair old few.
Yeah, but he gets it, and it's like, you are the one. I mean, you were like somebody that I look forward to these meetings.
Yeah.
Rarely do I look forward to meetings, but this is like one where I'm like, yes, I get to meet with Mike again. I'm excited. We're going to push the ball forward. I mean, it's just like, it's so fucking refreshing when you find those people.
Well, I think to your point, I mean, I've got a couple of folks I work with that's like that. There's some, unfortunately, it isn't. And I'm slowly but surely figuring out not renewing contracts. But, and that's a self reason. And so you want to go above and beyond, because there are so many who just aren't doing it for the right reasons. To your point, they're doing it for the money. But there are some bloody good people out there who, when you meet them and you work with them and you hang out with them, you're like, okay, you care. I got you covered. I've got your back. Not because I have to, because you pay me, but I got your back because you're one of the good ones.
Absolutely, man. And
yeah.
I spend so much time, trying to create solutions to fix things. You know what I mean? So you look at like the state, for instance, that's where I spend most of my time.
Mm-hmm.
I created this thing called programmatic distributed empowerment for information security. Sounds whatever, but really it's, how do I get everybody on the same page, and how do I get people making the risk decisions that they should make, as opposed to having the CISO making all the risk decisions.
Right.
Those should be distributed to whoever's responsible for that little piece of the puzzle. And so you develop this like solution, and it's going to work because logically it all makes fucking perfect sense. Right? If you take ego out of it, you look at it and like, that works, man. I mean, that, and I can't think of another way to do this. So then you take it, right? You take it to the States and you're like, take it. It's it. Look at it. And very few respond because whatever reason, I don't know why. I can only speculate. Maybe it's ego. Maybe it's maybe they get so many fucking emails.
I don't think they get some either don't get it, don't see it, don't understand it. I think the problem is as well. I think now, especially in our industry, because every single day they're getting so many emails promising them wealth beyond avarice, that when you actually come up to them, unfortunately in the digital realm, and say, hey, here's something, there's the immediacy is, what's the catch? What am I on the hook for? What are you trying to sell me? What are you trying to do? There isn't that instant, hey, thanks, I appreciate this, because so many companies have used that bait and switch and bait and register and bait shit as a conduit and avenue to sell shit they just don't need. So there's so much jadedness now.
I know, it's crazy, man. And we ran into that with the CSP mentor program. That's why it took 10 years, 11 years to get from 6 to 6,000. If you would have known at the very beginning that we were doing this for free, no strings attached, no bait and switch, we would have 6,000 almost immediately.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But people didn't trust us. And it's the same thing. Like I told CISA directly, I will give this to you for free. You can take it. I will sign this fucking company over to you right now.
Yeah.
If you just do this shit, because it's so important for us as a country to get our shit together. Nope. I'd said the same thing to CIS. Tony Sager, who I love. I think he's a fantastic guy. I'm like, Tony, I know what you're trying to do with your CIS RAM and everything else. It's not bad, but you're like 6 steps behind where you should be with this. So here, you want ours? I'll give it to you. I will repurpose Ryan, and Ryan will gladly go work at FR Secure or wherever the fuck else, because I just want to solve the fucking problem.
Yep, I'm just here to help Evan. That's literally my job. It does whatever he needs.
Well, and so that's what's so fucking frustrating. So then all of that, right? All that frustration, you can kind of feel it, right? I mean, you're like, hey, I won't even charge you for it. I'll give it to you. And then you get a guy, and I'm just going to say it, New Jersey. I love him. I really do. Mike Garrity, CISO, New Jersey, shout out. He's one of the few CISOs that I would actually work for.
Yeah.
That's how much I respect that man.
A while ago about that.
So then you get a CISO who gets it.
Yeah.
Right? First email, he got it. He's like, oh yeah. And so now I get to work with him. It changes everything, right? I look forward to every single meeting I have with him. I look forward to everything I get to do with him, because you took what I had painted. You took ego out of the way, and you're like, we can do that here. You know, so it's that shit to get off the pot. I don't understand why the obstruction in so many different places. You talk about what's really hot right now at states is this whole of state approach to cybersecurity. They call it cybersecurity, which is fucking bullshit too, but I won't go there. So whole of state approach. Awesome. I have a solution for you. No, we'll design our own. Why? It's going to cost you more. Well, because, you know, it's us. Okay. Well, if you design your own, do you realize that yours isn't going to translate to the other state next door? They're going to have to either design their own, or you're going to have to fucking translate between the two. So we're going to have 50 fucking translations of this shit, or all the work you're doing right now is for naught. It's your call, man. You know what I mean? But it's like this, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it myself.
Well, part of that's fiefdom syndrome, right? Let's be honest. Not everybody that's at an executive role is there for service.
But I'll even, but I've even given that to, this way. North Dakota, for instance, put your fucking name on it, brand it yourself. I don't have to have any. Don't have to give me any credit for any of this. You can look like the biggest fucking rock star that ever lived. No,
it's because he doesn't have one of these.
What is that?
Do you guys recognize this? Here.
Turn your
turn the blur off. Here we go. Yeah, I'll turn the blur off. It's because they don't have this. If they had this, then everything would be fine. They just need one of these. Do you guys remember this?
I got an older one.
With the ends.
Oh,
the dongles.
My gosh.
Oh, you don't even have the you don't even have the roach clips at the end.
Oh, I do. They're there. This one, the roach clips have been cut off. It's just raw wire. I got to put clips back on it, but not that this actually works. It's rotary. It doesn't, I don't think rotary still works. It might, but I thought they killed that off like a couple of years ago, didn't they?
Have you seen, Ryan, did you see the rotary that I have?
No.
If you saw, all right, I'm going to go get it. It was a gift sent to me by some folks in Australia, New Zealand.
I got a lot of, back in the day, I got a lot of free long distance with that.
Yeah. And having the key to the, phone, pay phones, I mean, I'm not saying if you needed quarters, if you could have the key, that they would be easy to get, but
Right.
You got to eat. I have one very similar to that. I got it from my grandmother's house. Where did you acquire yours? Yes. Wait, is there a lady in the center of that? In the center of that dial, is there like a lady, like a European statue?
Yeah.
I have that same fucking phone, but the American end. Yes, it's in my garage. I have the same exact phone.
I just saw that shit on Amazon for $12.99.
Oh, don't you?
No, dude, I'm totally kidding. I did not. I did.
This was sent to me as a present. This was given to me as a present by some actually pretty amazing folks.
That's
I didn't know you were going to take it that way. I saw the deflation in you, and I'm like, oh fuck, no. I have never seen it before in my life. That is the most special phone I've ever seen. I love it.
Now I know you're lying. Now I know you're lying to me. No, now I know you're lying to me. It's too late.
$1 million cash.
Not happening. Actually, I'll take it
cash,
because I can pay the X. Because I can pay the X. Oh gosh, no! It was given as a present. Totally awesome. You have this one too.
I do, and I got it's from my grandmother's house, so it was there. It was bought when it was new, and it was there for my entire childhood. And the day that we cut her over to the cordless touch tone, and we were gonna throw it out, and I'm like, nah,
this isn't allowed. This is
we weren't allowed to use it. We weren't. It was in the room that you weren't allowed to go in. We had the furniture you weren't allowed to sit on.
The covered chairs, the plastic covers.
Yes, because the Pope might show up, and don't you fucking touch the towels either. Them towels ain't for you. You got pants. You can dry your hands on your legs like you're supposed to.
Oh my God.
Don't use that bar of soap either. Always the bar of soap. Brand new bar of soap.
Yeah.
Not for you. No.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah.
So I could go in the room because she was too old to have a say anymore. I'm like, oh no, that's we're going in there.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna go put this back. Yeah, this was amazing crew. Brought this over. Australia, if I remember early. Totally awesome guys. They came over, hung out, and then turned up in the post. Yeah, this is one of those cool things.
That is awesome. I gotta figure out a way to make.
Hey, Ryan.
Yeah, what's up?
It wasn't $12.99. It was $15.99.
Oh, okay. Well, don't tell him that. That's fine. It's priceless. It's priceless. That's the correct answer.
1 million.
Yes.
1 million of somebody else's dollars.
I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? Hey, you're an InfoSec guy. Why not spend money like an InfoSec guy? Take $1 million of somebody else's dollars and piss it away on something pointless, and then tell them how good of a job you did. That's the thing, right? That's what we're supposed to do, right?
Well, and I don't. And that's a fine line, man. I don't mind. I don't fault people for making a shitload of money.
No, that
make shitloads of money. I don't.
Protection before profits, not instead of or in place of, but protection first, profits second, and make your ton of money ethically. And
my big thing is, why the fuck are we here, right? Why am I here? I'm not here, believe it or not, to make an assload of money. I am here to serve. I'm here to help people. I'm here to protect people as best I can. Right. And I will make money from it. And, I've been fortunate to make a lot of money from it. But it's always been mission before money, always from day one. If I'm not providing value, don't pay me a fucking dime. Mm-hmm. If anything, I should be paying you because you just wasted a whole shitload of your time. It's, we've seen it over and over and over again. I wish people were, more people were in it for this reason, right? Because then I would put my ego aside. Then I would recognize the fact that I can't actually do this thing that I really want to do, and I might need some help.
Hey, separate question.
I reach out for people. I'm 30 years in this fucking industry, and Chris, you're about the same, and Ryan, you're probably about the same too. How often do I fucking reach out for other people's advice? Every fucking day.
To give LinkedIn some credit, and they don't get a huge amount, they get some, but to give LinkedIn credit, it is an amazing way to just ping out to a couple of people and say, hey, have you got a minute, got a question? And to be able to do it globally.
All right, well, a lot of things that I'm sharing, asking for advice on are things I think that are a little less global, you know what I mean? But to have you, Chris, and to have you, Ryan, and have others to just throw something out there and not feel like I'm going to get judged, not feel like I'm going to get like, what the fuck are you thinking? To just give me your honest feedback, your honest advice. Because this is another thing I found out when I've asked others, maybe people that aren't as close as, the three of us, and I've asked them, give me honest feedback. They don't give me shit.
Right.
Mhm. Well,
I'm like, why didn't you give me any feedback on this? And I'm like, well, because I didn't want to offend you. I was asking to be offended. What the fuck are you doing?
the other evening when we were talking, Ryan, the present you sent me.
Yes.
And I hesitated because I looked at it and I'm like, I love the idea. Don't get me wrong. By the way, actually you can't see because the camera's pointing in the wrong direction.
If it ain't in the trash can, you didn't hear what I said.
No, I know I didn't. If you look up there in the corner, you can.
No, don't have it. It was the intent of the thing was usefulness.
I know. I'm aware.
To be a shoddy product that is not useful. My default setting is throw that away because I don't like giving people junk.
One second. Chris, do you know what your love language is?
Giving things and hanging out, just helping.
That's not a love language.
All right, I don't know what my love language is.
Have you ever read the book, The 5 Love Languages?
No, I have not actually.
Okay, I'm going to buy you a copy and I'm going to send it to you. I'm not going to tell you what the name is going to be this time.
Okay. Oh God, I'm fine with it. I love it. Poor Ernie's the postman, and I love him. He must look. I know we take care of Ernie. We'll just leave it at that.
But I'm going to send you this book because I think even though it's a Christian book, there's a shitload of wisdom in it. I use it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a great, I mean, Chris Hadnagy has his books and I love his books too, but it's a great social engineering book too, honestly, because if I can understand your love language, my love language is words of wisdom. I'm not words of wisdom.
Affirmation.
Is words of affirmation. So if you tell me I'm doing a good job, you make me feel loved. When you make me feel loved, I take my guard down. And you can, do all sorts of things to me and with me and whatever. Same thing. I think your love language, honestly, is gifts. So if I give you a gift, that's going to make you feel loved. And then, which is awesome because the same thing happens with my management team, right? At FR Secure. What are their love languages? I don't use it because I want to manipulate them. I use it because I want to reinforce the fact that I fucking love them.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's the same. It's the same kind of thing. I mean, I'll probably something similar. I was actually going to talk to you guys about these things I've been munching on for the last half an hour. I finally got them from the UK. I'm like, yay, I'm happy. And I want to share them. I was going to ask you a similar kind of thing. But back to here's the reason it's up there. Not because of what it is, because it reminds me of you. Then
it will sit there until I replace it with
we'll figure it out
thing that actually does what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But that was one of those instances when giving feedback was hard. Normally I'm just brash. I'm like, hey, it's good or it's crap. And I'm like, oh, I know you care about what you send. And I know you do. And I'm like,
wait, Evan gets his when we go to Mexico. I'm sitting on it. It's the same thing. I put you guys, I tried to, because while I know your love language is gifts, Chris, you don't need more stuff.
No.
And no. Evan is the hardest person to buy a gift for because it is not his love language and he is not materialistic. So to get him a physical thing, you have to go through an immense amount of thought.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the thought and the effort to do it that is what the value is. It's not the object. The object is useless and meaningless. It's the effort that was put in. It was the thoughtfulness. It was the time invested to get something that would resonate. So I'm glad that you have it.
My love language.
Disappointed that it's crap, and we're gonna fix it. And Evan, you are an awesome dude. Just so you know.
I tell you what, I'm actually gonna post what I'm gonna buy Evan, and I was thinking about this the other day, and it was reinforced today. So don't be surprised. And I'm sticking it in our. Oh God help us.
I don't want a bag of dicks, Chris.
No, it will not be a bag of dicks.
Yeah. Okay. I could see this being something that he would find useful.
Exactly.
All right. So here's how honest I am.
Mm-hmm.
I saw in that chat that it was sent to everyone, so I could have easily clicked on that link. I did not.
Deliberate. No, I actually want you to, because
No,
okay.
no, not going to.
All right. Well,
Not
I have
going to at
option.
all.
All right. We're gonna have fun with it. Let's put it that way.
So
However,
my love language,
Mhm.
my love language is words of affirmation. So when my wife, who is honestly, no offense, guys, no offense to anybody. She's really the only love that I care to receive. Like it's essential that I receive that fucking love. I care to receive all your love, but if I don't get hers, man, I'm like, what the fuck? We're done. But her love language is acts of service.
Mine too.
Yeah. So what people default to, the love language that I would typically speak, the default love language I speak is words of affirmation. So I'm always telling her, baby, you're beautiful. You look great, man. You're hot. And she's like, whatever. That's not her love language. Her love language is words of, acts of service. So I take the garbage out and she's like, oh, you love me. I do the dishes. Oh, you love me. Now I get it. I think my wife is just a little bit slower than I am. Just, upstairs maybe, because she doesn't tell me I'm doing a good job much. The fuck? I took the garbage out today, man. Come on.
Here's a direct quote from my life. You have never looked as good to me in our whole marriage as you do loading that dishwasher right now.
Bingo.
Like, oh shit, I pop a shirt off and I throw some dishes in, and this is what's okay, cool. That works.
You don't even have to pop the shirt off. You just gotta throw the dishes in.
It's true. There's trash that's waiting for me. I was actually texted, hey, so remember that trash needs to go out.
And now here's the big challenge. And being a social engineer over the years, and I still am a social engineer. I still get paid necessarily for it, like formally with projects and shit, but I'm always social engineering people. Her love language. So knowing people's love language is a great way to social engineer people. If you can understand what they are, recognize what they are, I can get you to do things because you feel loved, right? That's a good, motivation. I love Chris Hagnagy's, stuff about micro expressions. I think that's fucking fascinating. I use that too, and whatever. But with my wife, the challenge is her love language changes from day to day. So today it might have been acts of service. Tomorrow it might be touch. And so it's like, I made this a challenge for me. And she doesn't even know if she watches this, but not that she'll be able to change it. But I make it a challenge for me that before I finish my first cup of coffee in the morning, I'm trying to figure out what her fucking love language is that day. So I'm asking her specific questions. I'm watching her reaction. I put the dishes away. I look back. She looking at me? No. All right. Fuck, maybe that's not it today. I'll tell her like, oh, wow, I really love that shirt you're wearing, baby. I mean, you look hot in that. Any reaction? No, fuck, that's not it either. All right. Well, maybe it's gifts. Look, baby, I made you the shit. Man, fuck, that's not it either. All right. Well, I got 2 more love languages left. So I'm going to run the fuck out of, I'm going to run out of options here. But I think that's a lot of fun because the same thing applies to security, believe it or not. I have this other wisdom saying that I use all the time. Information security is not about information or security as much as it is about people. It's about people, always about fucking people. No matter how techie you are, no matter how great you are at pen testing, no matter how many fucking things you can hack, at the end of the day, it's about people. People suffer when shit goes bad, and people are always, not just once in a while, not just occasionally, they're always the fucking root cause. Always. Computers only do what you fucking tell them to do. Either I coded that shit into some, shitty app, or I configured it wrong, or I clicked on the link, but it's always people. And I think if you really want to understand how to move the ball forward and stop not shitting, you learn people. observe people, socially engineer an entire fucking organization. If you can do that, you just fucking won the entire fucking game.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, guaranteed, but pays a hell of a lot of dividends. Definitely justifies that $631,000 salary.
Oh yeah. All right. Well,
just another thing that, because one of the things I know that's not going to work, because it's not a fucking love language, is bitch.
Another topic for another day. I believe there is a large segment of the population who would disagree with you and say that that is a love language. I agree it is not. It is ineffective. However,
complain all the fuck you want. I've done it with so many fucking people, and I've seen them like shut the fuck down. Wall goes up. Ain't working. Anyway, yeah. I appreciate the fact that we got to talk about this, guys. The early part of the night, I was like, I don't know if we're ever going to get to talk about this, because this is one of those things I really wanted to get off my chest.
Sorry.
We do. No, dude, don't be sorry. No, man, we do this for people who are new to the shit show, or maybe have never heard this before. We started this thing as therapy for the three of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I wanted to see you guys. I wanted to be able to just let it out, man. I mean, we deal with so many fucking frustrations all week long. You know what I mean? Barrier. Didn't go my way. Okay, a little win, didn't go my way. That we all need a release. And you talk about mental health, we talk about mental health, sometimes too, mental health hackers, for anybody who's struggling with that.
Mm-hmm.
As part of my own mental health, I need friends. I don't like friends, honestly. I'm an introvert, but I need them. I need somebody to just dump this shit onto. So we started that, the security shit show for this reason. So I could just dump on you guys. You guys could dump on me. We got some broad shoulders. We can support each other, love each other. And this is one of those things that's just been, it drives me nuts. It's always driven me nuts. The fact that people say things and don't do things. We've got some of the biggest names in our industry, honestly, who people worship, who can't do shit. I wouldn't never give them a pen test, not one of my own. Fuck, you kidding me? Because they lack the skills, because they can't shit. You know what I mean? And the time and time again, you walk into people or run into situations where just the solution is so obvious. If you're willing to put in the work, if you're willing to, swallow the pride a little bit. So if you're, no matter what side of the situation on, be real. If you can't do it, that's okay. Most of us can't fucking do it, but together, I think if you find somebody safe to go and talk to about it, I know the three of us are definitely safe. We would defend. We don't even like people using the word newbie, for crying out loud.
No, I'll eat you for breakfast for that.
Yep.
Right. So reach out to us. We'll try to support you. And if we don't have the answer, we've knocked our head against the wall enough times that we're probably not going to knock our head against the wall either. So we'll go find the answer for you or with you. So if you're in that situation where you feel like you're in over the head, get some justification about that. If you're not willing to do the work and you can't get yourself willing to do the work, go find another fucking job. Because you are the people that I am targeting, that I want out of this business. I want to invite everybody into this business, but if you just don't have the intangibles, get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry.
Well, and
I don't want you here.
All going well, we're going to make it harder every day for the rest of this year for that bullshit to continue. Little by little, keep your eye on us. We will be doing things that are going to benefit, that are going to move the needle, that are not driven by greed, that are the right thing for the right reason with the right people behind it. And God willing, we will get to a point where there's more of that out there than the garbage, and it's going to get hard to hide. It's going to get hard to justify your $600,000 thing when I can go to Security Studio and get the shit for free or very low cost. So your $20 million budget can actually go to, I don't know, engaging your employees in effective awareness training instead of the godforsaken material you use now. Or something, I don't know, whatever. Fucking pay for them to all get a bonus and buy a new.
It's funny you mention that, because this was the first day that I've been in the office in like months. They were getting really creative trying to lure me into the office. They sent me a package yesterday. I mean, they're trying to do everything they can to get me to come in. I'm like, no, I don't want to come in. So I'm like, all right, fine, I'll go in. We got a new guy who started. His name is Alex. Shout out to Alex if he ever, listens. Guy from Alabama.
Hey, Alex from Alabama. Look forward to meeting you one day.
Yeah, he just started. But so I went in and we were talking about the same thing about we will hunt you and focus on putting you out of business. Because that was one of my big motivations when I first started FR Secure. There was a company here in Minneapolis, Surety River was the name of the company. So if you've been around for a while, you may have remembered, Surety River. Well, they're not here anymore.
That's because they were a shitty river. You're just pronouncing it wrong.
Right. But they owned this fucking market when we started FR Secure. And I saw that. I saw the shit that they were producing and providing to customers, and they became a target, and I was pretty blatant that I want to put them out of business. And even to the point where when they saw that we were taking all their customers, the president of that company took me out, emailed me, wanted to go out to coffee. His name was Jeff. I can't remember his last name. I'm like, yeah, I'll go have coffee with you. So we went and had coffee, and he's like, so, what's the magic? And I'm like, there's no fucking magic, man. He's like, well, what's your mission? I go, my mission is to fucking serve, and your mission isn't. And that's why we're winning.
Yeah.
People understand that, and people realize that, and people trust that. 3 things you need to have a customer in this industry: trust, credibility, and need to like me. That's it. Don't make it any more complicated than that. So Surety River is out of business. Thank God. We'll be finding more.
Fair warning.
Get out.
Fair warning. Anybody I catch victimizing K-12, there's special hell reserved just for you. So if I catch you doing it, if I catch wind of it, I promise you, I will.
Here's a big mountain, man. Here's a big
for you, and it won't be my face that shows up to bring the pain. So just know you don't want to be on my target list. Do the right thing. And if you don't know how, give me a call. I'm happy to help you win too.
I'll be Moses. You be my Aaron, because we got a big fucking mountain to climb, because we just called out Cisco and Dell tonight as
they're going to end up on a LinkedIn post probably tomorrow.
I'm playing well with Dell at the moment. They are parts of them are playing well. So let's not baby bathwater all of them. But
do you want me to hold off on my LinkedIn post?
Not for the story. Hell no.
Okay. The EVP, what the fuck?
Don't add extra letters to 25-year-old technology and tell me it's fucking new cyber magics.
No shit. Yeah.
Suck on it.
Well, not just that, man, but it creates a conversation. So if he puts something out that, but if he puts something out that the people you're talking to take exception to, great. Let's have a conversation about that.
I'm good. Go whole hog on that article. Absolutely. I didn't go whole hog because I was not in a headspace to be even moderately professional when I read it. I was like, oh, hell no. And I typed up a reply and then I deleted it because I was too sleepy and too angry to be on the internet. I had to follow my own advice and practice halt.
Not sure if I know Doug. I'll see if I know Doug. I'll do a little bit again. Yeah, don't be surprised if it turns up tomorrow. It will be civilized, but it will also
don't be shy. They need
to know. I won't be. It's
know
me.
That they're, this is the foolery I'm trying to bring attention to is don't extra letters, whatever XDR, which used to be MDR, which was now EDR, whatever the hell it's going to evolve into. That's just antivirus, people. Like, heads up, if you didn't know, signature-based antivirus is still signature-based antivirus by any other name. It is signature-based antivirus.
Don't even.
It's always a day late and $1 short, and it ain't going to stop you from Karen inviting the bad guy in via the attachment she opened. Just heads
doesn't
up.
even. I mean, not. Yeah, we won't even get into that because it is getting past the witching hour.
All right.
All right. So in closing, just honestly, be true to yourself. Shit or get off the pot. Look at the shit that you're doing yourself. Are you just sitting there? Or are you actually making a fucking difference? If you're not making if you're not making a difference, move out of the way, or have somebody come with you. Maybe I can give you a suppository. I don't mind. I'm so bought into this fucking industry that I'd even shove a piece of fucking wax up your ass to get you to shit.
That's what it takes.
Just shit, man. Come on. People are suffering. We gotta do better than this. Christy, do you have anything in closing?
Yeah, keep your eyes on us. This year is our year to stand up tall and strong. And so the more that you guys support and believe in what we're doing, this isn't a money play. This is a voice play. We have to get the right way of doing business, the right way of talking to your customer, the right way of protection over profits to be the theme. So as much as you guys are willing to and able to promote, highlight, take excerpts from our post, reshare them, whatever, but let's get there's enough of us that are pissed off about the way things are that if we came together as a group, we could actually make a damn difference. So my ask to y'all is get involved, be part of the movement. We're going to do stuff that no one's brave enough to do because it requires putting your greed on the shelf and it requires service. And so only those with the real heart for the game are going to be able to go with us, and they will instantly become our friends, by the way. So yeah, keep your eyes on us. We're gonna make some interesting announcements. I believe Tuesday-ish of next week there will be an interesting announcement made that is going to change the way the game gets played a little bit.
So I'll close with Ryan's comments. So for those of you that follow me on LinkedIn, I had a bit of a rant a couple of days ago, and that came about from a conversation with a board that we already talked about. But then I sat down with Ryan and Evan, and poor Ryan was on, and Evan was mercifully, probably for him, not watching the string of conversations go back and forth.
I saw him in the morning when I woke up.
Yeah, they were lengthy, and so Ryan, we talked. And it went from a complete growl to a 3/4 growl and a 1/4. I'll give, we'll see what we can do. So I will close with the help first and sell later. And those words come straight out of Ryan.
Just do it. I'll make you rich. Just follow the way we're doing it and you'll win too. And the world will be a better place because of it. Help first, sell second.
Yeah, I will briefly add that on the poll, which still has a few days left to go, I still haven't figured out how to get this 3-day thing running, is unfortunately you ain't seen nothing yet. It's still winning for the.
I think people maybe misunderstood the poll. I think those people that are voting that are thinking that this is reflective of industry as is and not the one we want.
Yeah, but, I know. But
hold my beer. Always a valid option.
It is, but help first, sell later is actually kicking ass. That makes me happy. So yeah,
always. And we use it all the time. Mission before money. Always.
Yeah. There's
nothing wrong with making a shitload of money.
Right.
But put the mission, the purpose for the money ahead of the money. Mm-hmm. It's not rocket science. And the theory has always proven out to be true. And this is over 12, 13 years of business. I mean, FR Secure last year, $25 million in sales, right? Always putting mission before money. If you put the mission before the money, you'll make plenty of money. If you put the money before the mission, you will never serve the mission, period. So get your priorities straight. Next week, we've got episode 78. We're going to talk about open source and open source. Whose is that?
That's me. That's me taking on open source, because is it as good as what it was supposed to be, or is the guy who deleted his GitHub library because he got sick and tired of his open source project being used to make money by big corporations with no acknowledgement and magically deleted his project, so everyone who had his code set to auto update broke their shit, And, you know,
Hey.
he could have put something malicious in there instead and created a whole different set of problems. So that's what we're going to unpack next week. I've got some fire for this one.
Good.
Hey, and once again, just to reiterate, my longevity, plenty long. Don't worry about that.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. Mine
plenty long.
is too long. So, you know, we all got our curses. Anyhow.
And the last is just the last is one more thing, and then we'll close. Last is a plug for the CISO certification. That class starts on the 25th. If you can't afford it, don't worry about it. Send us an email. We'll make sure you get in.
But you have to give a justifiable reason why you can't afford it. And I'm poor doesn't quite count.
It would with me, but Ryan's a little tougher.
No. And I got final approval on anything that Evan hasn't already approved. But
I got admin access, so I can always overrule it. So whatever.
I love you guys. We will help anybody. Seriously, let us know though. If you want to do the program and it's not something that you can muster, just let us know. We're going to do the right.
We've already got a full class. So, I mean, I'm happy about that. I'm happy.
Oh, wow. Already. Excellent.
Well, full enough, man. I mean,
I get
it. The inaugural class. Yep. The worst fear is you start the class with 0. And I've got a whole story around that too. So we're not at 0. We're at enough. That's awesome.
I sent Rebecca your way. I'll make sure I just shot her a quick note and said, hey, make sure you follow up with those guys. She's awesome, by the way. Really awesome. All right.
Appreciate it. You guys are awesome. I will talk to and see you boys sometime throughout the week and next Thursday for sure.
Totally. Take care, everybody that's listening. Stay safe.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate you tuning in.